What's going on, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know who it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. What's episode GD rocks or rock and metal thrive. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is the 11th of February, and this episode is full of horror or whatever it is, because I got to talk to the band Seasons out of Virginia, and they have a song out there right now called Killing Seasons, which will be featured on the Friday the 13th movie Vengeance 2 Bloodlines, which is going to come out sometime in 2021. And I'll put it this way. I'm wearing an Ice Nine Kills shirt today for a reason. And it is because this song that they came up with for the Friday the 13th franchise does exactly what Ice Nine Kills it with in terms of attention to detail and storytelling, the whole Jason story in a different kind of light. However, I think they do it almost just as good, if not just as good. So it's definitely something you want to check out. So hear how the song all came into play and get to know the band as well, because my God, once this whole pandemic thing is over, they could easily be coming to a venue near you. And you should go see them too, because they could potentially put me in the yard for one of their shows, though. I mean, like, you know, me breaking my nose or completely busting up my face. We'll see what happens, though. But are you guys ready? Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. Those guys from MVK Music Group and Maverick Apparel, my God, they keep sending me all these different bands that are fantastic in their own right. And this one, well, I'm wearing the Ice Nine Kills shirt for a reason, due to the fact that they've got a song called Killing Seasons, which is going to be on the Vengeance 2 Bloodlines movie. That's with the Friday the 13th franchise coming out in 2021. And yeah, you guys probably go listen to this song right after this episode so you get to know the guys from the band Seasons. So guys, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
What's up, buddy?
What up? Thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for being on. And, you know, we're just sitting here during the day. Actually, it feels weird recording a podcast during the day. I'm usually doing these like late at night and half asleep and then trying to get energy. Gives me like 2 minutes. I'm just like, but this one's even better because now I got the sunlight in the background. Woo! But before we get really jumping into it, though, I want you guys to introduce yourselves to the audience. Everyone gets to know who you are. And I always ask 3 different questions. First 2 are easy. The last one, that's always my favorite. So I want to know what your guys' names are, what you do in the band, and my third one, which is my favorite, the one that'll always put you guys on the spot, is I want to know that, like, little fun fact about yourself. However, it can be, I want it to be the wackiest thing you can think of. Wacky story, wacky fun fact, whatever it might be, whatever you might have that might make me laugh and make me think you guys were funnier than the guys from Modern Day Escape who just told me some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'll let you guys take it away. Whoever wants to start.
I'll start. I don't want to go after Randall, basically. So I'm Nick Overteller, and I play guitar in the band. And fun fact about me, I've got a really long tongue. I can stick my tongue up my nose. A lot of people don't know that.
I'll say that you got like that, like Gene Simmons level style tongue going on.
Gene might have me by like a fraction of a centimeter, but yeah, it's a good sized tongue.
I mean, if you ever get a chance to meet Gene Simmons, you just got to make sure you have like a little bit of a measuring tape right there. It's like, all right, Gene, we got to test this out and see what happens. He might get really pissed off at that, but then again, then you know that you're going to be the winner.
True.
Yeah, good point. Let's see if he backs out.
He backs out like you do with that. Like, if you ever heard the Burt Kreischer story and why he hates Gene Simmons, just like constantly like pushing him out in an interview because he didn't want to have Burt ask him questions. It'd be kind of like that similar sound. Then you'd have this whole crazy story about, yeah, Gene Simmons was afraid to have his tongue measured in a tongue measuring contest with me to see whose was larger. Looks like Gene Simmons is a little
bigger than yours, Gene.
All right, we'll see if anyone can top that. So who is next? I'll go to Josh on this one.
Hello, my name is Josh Woolcott. I'm the drummer of Seasons. And my random fact, I'm going to go off of Nick, is that I can fold my ear. Sometimes I fold it because I'm just messing around or I'm thinking, and then I fall asleep and it just sticks like that.
Oh, what the hell? God
Wow.
damn.
That is pretty weird.
When it comes to weird and wacky fact, that definitely does constitute a weird and wacky fact. I have a really weird thing where it's like if my ears, if I feel like they're getting like folded in or crushed, it just feels so weird. I'm just like, get that little bit of anxiety going, which usually never happens. It's only when someone messes with my ears. So that kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I love doing it all the time. I do it on accident. Some people think that I'm just missing an ear when I keep it folded in. I'll legit forget about it.
You just have to go live. So you just have to go live on stage one point and just have your ears fold and just see what happens.
Yeah, I gotta work on my right ear, get some flexibility so I can do both.
Yeah.
Alrighty. After that, who's next? We got 3 guys to go. Well, after hearing what Nick said about Randall, not wanting to go after him, I'm gonna have him go last. So we're gonna go with Matt on the next one. So Matt, you're up.
I'm Matt. I play bass in the band. I think we were just talking about this. We just wrapped up practice a little bit ago, but I'm actually like terrified of raccoons. I'm not afraid of anything else really, but fucking raccoons freak me out. Look, they're mean. They wear masks. They have opposable thumbs. You can't trust them. They're shady little fucks and they're mean.
The trash pandas.
Yep.
I've also been chased by 2 raccoons that were in the middle of a fight and stopped fighting and decided to chase me. So they kind of fed into that.
Okay, then that definitely brings forward why you'd be a little bit scared of raccoons and not really like them. However, I thought it also makes sense with the whole entire, like, raccoons can be assholes sort of thing. Why it makes sense why in South Park when they did the whole Coon and Friends thing, why Cartman was the coon. It was all played and all based off of that. So that's just absolutely hilarious. Absolutely love it. Alrighty, well, because apparently with, again, what Nick said, I want Randall to go last. So Mark, your turn.
My name's Mark Spivey. I play guitar for Seasons. Random fact about me, the first musical instrument that I learned to play, which is very metal, would be clarinet. And I was pretty good at it. First chair, all state. Very metal.
At some point in time, you're going to have to bring in the clarinet into a metalcore song and see how that goes.
I don't even know what happened to it. I was looking for it like a year ago, and it's just gone. I don't know what I did with it. It's probably in the attic somewhere.
I'll say, don't worry, this is not the first time I've heard of some weird, like, woodwind-style instrument coming into the podcast and being introduced into some heavy metal kind of music, because I recently did an episode with the guys from Kill the Imposter, and they bought a recorder during the podcast. They're like, yeah, we're going to put this in our music. 2 days after we recorded, I got a photo message on Facebook Messenger from the guys. They're like, look at what just came in, and it was the fucking recorder.
That's great.
So if you guys ever want to try something wacky, just put some weird kind of woodwind instrument into your metalcore and just roll with it.
It might just work.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna bring my trumpet to the next practice, guys.
Do it.
Got a cool idea for the sequel to Killing Season. We'll have a trumpet solo.
I'll bring
I
my
play-
Do it.
I play a mean skin flute, so
Say, but if you bring your trumpet, you could definitely do like some sort of like ska inspired metalcore style. It'd be
There you go.
really wacky,
Ooh.
but I feel like it would
Be a
definitely
new
work.
genre.
It'd be
Yeah.
it'd be an insane genre too. I mean, holy shit. That
Metal
could
ska-core.
be something huge.
Could.
The mighty blast. Alrighty, one more to go. Now the piece de resistance. Oh my god, Randall, Jesus Christ. You're up, man. All right, man, you're up.
all right. So I'm Randall Sykes, formerly known as Richard Ismail. That is my Facebook profile. And if people are smart, they get what that name means. I am also formerly known as Lil Chode. That's my rapper name. I don't have any albums out yet, but I am a connoisseur of rap, so hopefully I'll get that out within the next 20, 25 years. Fun fact about me, fun facts. I was in the Marines from 2006 to 2010. Went to Ramadi in 2007, and I got like a couple stories from Iraq, which were pretty cool. We were in a pretty dangerous area, and Marines are all crazy motherfuckers. So we would make the best out of everything that we did. So we were on a patrol one time through the city of Ramadi, and it's pitch black. We got our NVGs on, and all of a sudden, out of my corner of my eye or ears, all I could hear is "Meow, meow." So it scared the shit out of me. So I turn to the left, and all I see is 2 cats just fucking the shit out of each other. I mean, going at it, like literally. And I could not stop laughing the whole fucking rest of the patrol. And the rest of the guys were like, dude, chill the fuck out. It's just two cats fucking. I'm like, I can't help it. Another story is in Ramadi, we had to burn our own shit. So every time we would take a shit and the bucket would get full, we'd have to burn it. It's like you saw on, what's that movie? Jarhead?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jarhead. So they rotated out for every Marine. So the Marine, I had to burn the shit. Like, it was my turn to burn the shit. So I'm using the diesel fuel. I'm burning the shit. I'm trying to take the actual barrel out of the porta-john. And when I take it out, everybody had cholera for about 2 to 3 weeks. So everybody's shit looked like Hershey syrup. So I'm pulling it out and it accidentally falls. And I think you know what happens next. Your boy Randall gets covered in some shit. Everyone else shit. So that was fun. They made fun of me for that for a while. Yeah, that's some fun facts about me, man.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a good, healthy amount of fun facts. And when it comes to getting me to laugh, definitely, Randall, you take the cake on that one. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So really, the biggest thing about the whole entire thing with Seasons, of course, is your music as well. And when I got to take a look at it, I mean, taking a look at like how you guys described it, you described it with your performance style as being in your face from what I saw. Like, you know, just blatant in your face. It felt like a lot of energy. And when I saw that, the first thing I thought was, okay, this is definitely going to be a band that I definitely am going to want to check out and listen to, because hearing that kind of style, especially from a performance style, that just reminds me of all the good, highly energetic mosh pits that I would absolutely love to get into and have gotten multiple face injuries during, multiple concussions. So, yeah, I'm like, this band definitely fits for me.
Dude, so far we have been responsible for 3 emergency room visits that we know of. We don't want anybody to get hurt, but I know we've had a dislocated knee, a broken foot, and a shattered nose that we know of that are confirmed. So, yeah.
Well, when live shows really get going full back into swing and I get to see you guys play live, I've got a feeling that you're going to get a 4th confirmed one, and it's going to be because of me.
That would be bad.
And of course, you'll see a picture all of a sudden pop up on my Instagram. It's like, okay, who the hell is that? Oh, that's the guy that recorded a podcast with us. You see my face all beaten, bloodied up. It's like, yeah, so I was in the mosh pit for Seasons tonight. This is the end result of it. Would I go back and see it again the next night? Absolutely.
I feel like we kind of cheat, though.
What do you mean?
We like to do. I mean, I guess every band's got their thing or whatever, but sometimes it's a lot of fun for us to give away shirts. Look, people like free shit, so it's really easy for us to get Randall and be like, "Yo, rowdiest asshole in the pit wins a free shirt," and people will like fucking kill each other for a $20 T-shirt. Like, okay.
I mean, you're pretty much like asking us to do a challenge right at that point. It's like, okay, free T-shirt. Who wants it? Of course, if I'm there, I'm just going to be like, me! Because why the hell not?
Hey, basically, look, the way I see it, I'm not even going to say we. The way I see it is y'all are going to entertain us while we entertain y'all.
Yeah. Yep.
And that should honestly be the way it is, just because then everyone's having just an absolutely fantastic time at the show, whether it's the people that are watching the show and just kind of just going at it on their own way, not really in the pit area, but they're enjoying it because they're getting to watch you guys up on stage, and then they're also going to get to watch us crazy people over in the pit. You guys are going to get to watch how crazy we're getting and entertaining you guys. Then us, we're going to end up enjoying the music and just letting loose during that whole entire aspect. And honestly, that's the part I miss the most about with this whole entire pandemic live show stuff. It's just that enjoyment of just everyone being in a room and just enjoying the music in a positive way. Doesn't matter what kind of positive way it is. Everyone's having a blast, and it's like a whole entire family vibe. And man, I really
it's actually kind of funny. The last show we did, so we were second from the top of the bill, and at this place you had to wear masks. That was a rule. So the owners of the place were like, "Yeah, we're gonna enforce it. Yeah, we know you're gonna be in a like club basically, and doesn't really make a whole lot of logical sense, but this is the rule, so we're going to follow it." So their security was going around making sure people had masks on. They didn't care about how close you got. And during our set, pit broke out, and these kids were like beating the shit out of each other. I saw them on the stage, and the bouncers from the club were like yelling at them like, "Put a mask on! You gotta have your mask on!" Even though they're like trying to kill each other. It's just worried about making sure they had masks on.
That's right. When it comes to that point, I mean, when the pit gets going, it's the pit rules are its own thing. You're not going to stop it.
Nope.
And that's And that's the way it should be, honestly, because honestly, where's the fun in trying to regulate the pit? The pit will regulate itself.
That's true. Yeah. It polices itself.
I mean, pretty much. I remember this was, 2 years ago at this point now at Summerfest here in Milwaukee, where it was like every artist now that's there, it's like pop artists or country artists or some sort of like older rock artists. But then all of a sudden they had a Silverstein opening for August Burns Red. And I'm like, oh shit, I want to go see August Burns Red. And they have benches all over the place, like metallic benches. And people are always standing on top of them. But of course, August Burns Red get going. There's a 4-foot wide gap between the front barrier and the first bench. And there are people trying to mosh in there. And I'm right up front too. Can't really mosh because it's so packed in. I'm getting thrown over the bench. I'm almost tearing my ACL like every single 5 minutes at this point. And we're getting pissed. We're like, we need more room. We look over on the other side of the stage and people are tipping up these benches to give the mosh pitters more room. I'm like, oh shit, that's a good idea. So we're trying to pick up these benches while security's yelling at us. We're like, no, we're actually being smarter on this. Like, just hold up the benches. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Let us do our job. God.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm just like, I still have the pictures from it. It's hilarious when all of a sudden you see him start picking up and you see security just like starting to flood the area trying to get the benches to be put back down, but people are just trying their hardest not to let this happen.
No, the crowd wins.
At that point, you just got to let the crowd do its thing. And even with the venues where they hand out the little slips that always say, no moshing, no crowd surfing, whatever, those are always the shows that it's going to be the craziest at. Right. It's like, I'm pretty sure they just hand those out at this point just as a formality or for insurance purposes.
Yes. Have fun moshing, but no moshing.
We make the rules here now, not you.
Yeah.
Like, look at me. I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now.
But going into your music as well a little bit more so, and when I saw that again, that in your face style, listening to it, I'm like, okay, this is definitely something I want to get into. And of course, with Killing Season being the song that seems to be really gaining the most amount of momentum right now. That's a better way to put it. Due to the fact that it's going to be on the Friday the 13th Vengeance 2 Bloodlines movie. And that was something I was really interested to see how you guys came up with creating a song for that, specifically because with me wearing an Ice Nine Kill shirt, Ice Nine Kills are my favorite bands of all time, and hearing how they kind of took that whole entire horror trope and put it into metalcore, I want to know how you guys really worked to take a song and had that Friday the 13th background and put it into your own version of a song as well.
Who wants to answer?
Matt, you're frozen, but this sounds like something right up your alley.
He is frozen.
Oh, I didn't even realize that Matt was frozen.
Dang.
Matt's frozen
all the time.
Matt's frozen.
I can tell you how it got started.
Well, I can at least.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Now you're kind of cutting in and out.
I'm just frozen.
He's still frozen.
You're frozen, and then your vocals are starting to cut a little bit in and out. I'll say this isn't the first time I've had this happen.
I'll take it. So, with Killing Season, Matt ended up reaching out to, I don't know if it was CJ or if it was Jason Brooks, but he reached out to one of them and tried to see if it was even possible if we were to make a Jason influenced song, would they be willing to work with us? And they basically said, yeah, I mean, they just didn't want any crappy song. They didn't want like a crappy band playing a crappy cover song almost. So we ended up making the song basically it's first person, right, Nick? Like it's through the eyes of Jason. So basically the song, it's like Jason screaming. It's like Jason is screaming the lyrics of the song. Everything is like first person. Myself and Nick, I'd say, made most of the vocals. And I've always loved Jason. He's always been my favorite serial killer. I was born on Friday the 13th. So, I mean, it just hit home for me. And as you see Jason in the background, but we wanted to do it justice because we know, just like you said, Ice Nine Kills, to me, they are the masters of Halloween horror music. Like you can't beat them. You can try, but you can't beat them. So we weren't even trying to beat them. We just wanted to do Jason even more justice because, we all like Jason, including me. So we ended up making the song with the lyrics. We threw it back and forth, ended up getting rid of some of the lyrics that we had and putting even better lyrics in there. And we took a few stabs at Freddie, because I don't like Freddie, I like Jason. So we said in one of the lyrics, it's I'm reality, Freddie's a dream. So basically, Freddie only gets you in your nightmares, while I'm going to get you in real life. So to me, the reason why we went for that song is because we definitely wanted to reach out for the most exposure we could. And we've always wanted to do a Jason theme song as well. So
that's definitely understandable. I mean, and listening to it, one thing I actually do want to point out is the fact that I did actually pick up on some of that Freddie stuff that you had in there as well. Not only the dig, but even in the intro, it kind of had this like feel that fit a little bit more for Freddie, because it had like this dream feel with the instrumentals. However, that was just in the intro. So I'm like, okay, this is definitely a little bit different. However, when you got to the rest of the song, I did see some of those digs at Freddie, but however, after that, I mean, you really focused on what the Friday the 13th vibe was, what the whole Jason serial killer style was, and really put that in your music and really let those emotions and let the style of music really play off of that. So that was a really smart move on your part.
Thank you. It's good to know.
I think Matt froze again. I was going to ask him a question off of that, but if not, then I can always go to another one. They just seem to sit there just like, huh.
It's normally one of us that freezes on every one of these.
At least one. There's normally at least one of us that has technical issues.
Don't worry, I'm used to it. It's all good. Don't worry about that. So one thing that I was very curious about was what you said, Randall, when you're talking about how Ice Nine Kills is kind of like the masters at that, and you didn't want to try and one up them, or you didn't want to try and mimic. You want to try and do this, do Jason justice, but do it in your own style as well. And honestly, I'd say that's probably the perfect way to go about it too, because then you're not trying to have a direct copy off of someone else's style. You're trying to do it your own way. And when it comes to trying to figure out a certain vibe or a certain feel of a movie, everyone's going to get different emotions off of that. So you're trying to put your own feelings and thoughts into that as well, which makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think for the most part, it definitely got conveyed through the song. Like a lot of people, even Jason Brooks, who plays Jason in the new Vengeance 2, he said, and I do quote, he was like, I've listened to multiple, bands, and they're sending me music, and most are just subpar. He was like, when I heard y'all's song Killing Season, he said, and I quote, he said, it blew me away. And that floored every one of us, because up until this point, we really haven't talked to that many famous people. We have, very few talked to, but like no one has really said it blew me away. And to me, that just humbled all of us.
Oh, and absolutely it should as well, because especially if you're getting a guy that's been hearing a bunch of music around that subject consistently and is trying to find something that really is going to fit the overall vibe for that franchise, and saying that your song blew him away, you're definitely hitting on something there.
Yeah. And I don't even, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even know if Jason Brooks is that much of a metalhead.
Yeah, I don't know that he is either. But yeah, so we had a call last week actually with Jason Brooks and CJ Graham. And CJ Graham is an actor. He played Jason in Friday the 13th 6, Jason Lives. And so that would have been 1986, I believe, when that movie came out. So and CJ Graham is going to be in Vengeance 2, by the way. Yeah, so I don't know if those guys are metalheads. I know CJ's got a big like classic rock background. I don't know about metal, but those dudes both like really dug it. I think part of it is like when I get into something, like I love certain franchises. I love Friday the 13th. I love Star Wars. I get really into it. Like I nerd out on it. And if you're a Friday the 13th nerd, there's all kinds of references to stuff within the like movie series throughout the song. The first two lines are, "You invade my home again, but why?" Because people keep coming back to Camp Crystal Lake. It's like, why do they keep coming back? Everybody who goes there just dies. And then the second line is, "Killed my mother, so now I must defy." And that's the first Friday the 13th. Jason is hardly even a character in the first one. It's his mom who's the real antagonist. So there's references to stuff within the Friday the 13th franchise all through it.
That was actually one thing I really did like about it as well, because seeing the lyrics, how you did refer to the original Friday the 13th, but you didn't focus fully onto that one, and you really brought more of the Jason story out in there. And of course, the one I got to compare it to, if I'm comparing it to another great metalcore song that bases off of Friday the 13th, it's going to be Iceland Kills, Thank God It's Friday, where that one really stuck in more with just the first movie style, where you guys really went more deeper into the story, because of course it's going to be on a new movie, you're going to have to. But it makes sense, and it gives the song its own identity as well. It's kind of cool listening between Thank God It's Friday and with Killing Seasons back to back on each other.
Yeah, very true.
So then now that Matt's back and I can actually see him and that it's not frozen, what was it like getting in contact with the guys from Friday the 13th, the guys that have played Jason, regarding this song?
It was actually really cool, man. Randall was pretty close on it. I actually reached out to Peter Anthony to begin with. He's one of the actors from the Vengeance series, and we kind of got into it. And he was like, we started talking about the music, and I asked him, I was like, hey, is there any place, we're trying to get a song into a movie? And he was like, hey, well, you'd be better off target writing a song, and after you get it written, reach out to Jason Brooks, who's the director, and he actually plays Jason in Vengeance 2, as well as Roseblood. But yeah, it was really cool. All those guys have been extremely professional and awesome.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing to hear, and it's we finally got Mark back, so yay. But now I got to go to Josh on this one, because I haven't heard Josh really speak well. So Josh, when it comes to the creation of this song, and after hearing I have no idea what he just said. It kind of just like pixelated out.
Mark said, blah, 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 blah.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to go to Josh on this one then. So, Josh, when it comes to this whole entire track with Killing Season, when it comes to the Friday the 13th connection, when it came to making this song and really recording it, what were your whole thoughts going through this in terms of how closely connected it was to Friday the 13th and how the sound really reflected the whole entire story?
I think it represents everything absolutely perfect. I couldn't change anything if I wanted to. It's really that good. I mean, I even follow other reviewers that will listen to the song and check it out, and I mean, they have they could say it better than I could. I mean, everything is perfect, from the melody to the hard hits. I mean, the writing is genius, in my opinion.
And when it comes down to it, after listening, I would have to absolutely agree with you 100% on that one. And just kind of with the way how it was styled, especially with how everything got built up into that chorus. And the reason I'm taking a constant look at to the other side of me is because I went through this song. I probably did like a 2.5 page full on review on it for myself, and I just wanted to make sure that if I was gonna say anything about it, I don't fuck it up. But when it came to the chorus, I love how it had this more bass and this melodic metalcore kind of feel. And because the guitars play more melodic, the drums are exiting every other measure with a little bit of a fill. And I like this just as well as I like with the pre-chorus and what the differentiation in the verses did, because it feels like the part of the horror movie where Jason is actually killing somebody. It's like that big heavy part where it's like, okay, here's the knife, it's finally going into him, and they're the death scene is happening right then and there, because it's slow, it's melodic, and it lets the gore that would be in the whole entire movie really come out along with the reality of the situation. That's all with how the chorus has that more melodic style to it. I was a huge fan of that.
Oh, it's perfect. It's just like how they would film it in the movies. It's always calm and chill until Jason just pops up out of nowhere and he's just stabbing that machete right in your back.
She's probably blonde. It's usually how that works.
And this was one of the first songs we did with Randall on the mic. Randall was our drummer at one point, and he switched over to vocalist, and I guess the versatility he brings to the table was huge for this, because he can hit those really high choruses. A lot of us can sing in the band, but I don't know if anybody could really hit that chorus pitch the way he did. So that really gave us all kinds of flexibility in terms of songwriting that we had never really had before.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anybody can hit that note.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. And so, Kevin, just so you know, when we were making this song, I just switched from drums to vocals, and we were in there messing around with it when we weren't even done with it yet. We were still making it, and I hit that note for the chorus, and I was just saying random stuff because at that point we didn't have any lyrics. But I hit that note, and everybody stopped and they looked at me, and I was like, was it that bad? And they were like, dude, do that again. And I was like, I hope I can. I didn't even know. So
well, just hearing how you came up with that, I mean, that reminds me a lot of times how my favorite band, how they come up with their music and how they come up with everything that they do, and that's Rise Against, with how Tim McElrath, when he's trying to figure out like what the vocal pattern is going to be, what the pitch is going to be, he'll just sing gibberish over it just to try and figure out where he wants to go with the overall range. And hearing something like that where it's like, okay, we don't necessarily know what we're going to say right now. However, that's the note that needs to be in that part.
Right.
That, I mean, you're setting yourself up for success right there. So I absolutely love hearing that kind of a style.
Yeah, thank you.
And hitting those higher notes, especially kind of having a little bit more of a melodic sense to it after the more unclean verses while just kind of leading into it a little more of a charge. Oh, definitely great move because it kind of has that anticipation buildup. And then, of course, you get the chorus. It does feel like that's actually the killing moment right then and there. So you hit that as well, again. However, that I still don't think that was the best part of the song at all. There was definitely something that stood out more, and that was how the bridge and the breakdown worked with each other. Because with the bridge, you had more like the drumming guitars slowly picking up to the pace of the song in the metalcore sense in order to get to the breakdown. Again, it's a great build-up, and I'm like, it's going to fit. As long as the breakdown fits into what the full style of the song is and what exactly we're looking for in terms of what we know from Friday the 13th. And then when the breakdown hit, I felt like you guys took some inspiration. I've got to go to Ice Nine Kills again with their breakdown on Stabbing in the Dark, which is fucking awesome. But you had more of this concentration on the metalcore paces, and I'm like, this breakdown is heavy, but it's also slow where the instrumentals hit quick, and there's a good amount of time stuck between them, so you really are getting more of that horror feel to it. And this worked out so well because you amplified that piece of the song. You really understood how to pronounce those breaks in between each part of it, and it just brought out that slasher feel, like, you know, like knife going in, knife going out, knife going in, knife going out. And I just thought you just held up that heavy suspense. You just build it up, and then you really hit it with it on that point. So it literally was like listening to a horror movie and going through the whole entire aspect of a horror movie in about 4 minutes.
That's awesome, because that's exactly what we were going for.
Point.
Yeah.
And you guys absolutely hit it on this point. And of course, Randall, when it comes to your vocals as well, again, the range that you offered and the whole entire aspect of it really did work out well in order to really figure out exactly where you're going with the whole entire thing. The higher pitches and all some of those deeper screams, well, to kind of give more of a demonic presence to the Jason side of things as well. It just added all in there. It was a fantastic mix. And then I actually, right before we got on this call, because I saw you guys release the YouTube video, the music video for the song, like a couple days before the recording of this, I had to go check it out and see exactly where you were going with it. And just how I thought you guys were going to go with that kind of a video, you pretty much did the exact same thing. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, thanks. We actually filmed it at Randall's grandmother's house, which is it's in a rural part of Virginia, and it's actually the house that Martha Washington grew up in. And I was watching the video the other day. I never noticed this until the other day. There's a sign. There's a scene where the guy who's playing Jason grabs the blonde and drags her out of a shed she's hiding from him in. And there's a little Easter egg. It says, there's a little sign in the back that says Chestnut Grove. You can Google Chestnut Grove, and that's the name of the property that Martha Washington grew up on. So if you Wikipedia Chestnut Grove, you're going to see the backstory. Oh, this is where Martha Washington grew up. So if you're a real Friday the 13th and history nerd like me, that's out there.
Nick, you didn't tell him the best part though, is how casually Randall tells us this. You know, we're going back and forth with the director, and you know, I'm talking to Mark, I'm talking to Nick. We're sitting here like, dude, where are we gonna shoot this? And Randall just comes out. He's like, oh yeah, my grandma lives at Martha Washington's birthplace. Like everybody's grandma is supposed to have a famous first lady's house. Like no big deal. Whatever.
Like it wasn't like it was a normal thing. That's how he brought it up.
Well, it's normal.
The way that he said it though, it was almost like, I mean, one is Randall, but the way he brought it out, it was almost like, what, you guys don't have a grandma that lives at famous people's houses? Like,
yep.
No.
Okay.
That's exactly how I told the band I had chlamydia. I made it just so easy for them. You know?
He just said it like it was like a normal thing. It's like, oh well, sorry about your luck.
Got chlamydia, guys.
No, but not only that, however, when it comes to the fact that you guys shot at, well, Chestnut Grove, and that's where your grandma lives, holy shit, that's something that you can always add in there, and you're always gonna have that little special caveat from that music video. However, it's always something that can be used a little bit of like a selling point in a way as well, just because like, hey, check out this music video, because you might recognize the place where it is if you're a real history nerd, and some history nerds be like, okay, want to go check this out, and that's how they're going to check out your music just based off something like that, and then they're going to be looking for it. They might not find it right away, and they're going to mess you, okay, so what's the history part about this? Then you just tell them to look for that one specific spot that has the Chestnut Grove sign there, and then they're going to freak the fuck out.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
It's all about making the most of the random little aspects in life that you can.
Yep.
Also, that guy who we got to play Jason was, you can't really even tell from the video, which is slightly disappointing, but he's like 7 feet tall. He was absolutely terrifying. He was so good for the role. Like, it was the first time when we shot the video, it was the first time I ever met him, and he was like the nicest, like sweetest dude ever. But yeah, he was very menacing looking. He was like the perfect guy for that role you could have chosen.
Yep.
But then but especially the fact that you guys, I was gonna say, the fact that you guys felt that he was gonna be like this menacing guy, especially with being 7 feet tall, just having that overarching presence around you, that definitely had to help out with the overall aura around the music video as well, and to really bring out the horror and suspense that the video really needed to bring out the song as well.
Yeah,
I feel like you really don't have to act much.
Wait, what was that, Mark? Because it kind of cut in and out with the audio.
I said I feel like he didn't really have to act much. He was always a big menacing guy, even though he's a giant teddy bear. It was kind of like, do this, and he was like naturally made for it. He was like, I'm used to this, and he's a bouncer at a bunch of venues in Richmond. So he's like, I'm used to carrying people out, so this is what I do.
Now stab them to death.
Yeah, for this music video,
that part.
For this video, I'd say we probably, like, you film, for at least our videos, you film a lot of footage just to cut it down to those 4 minutes of the song. And we filmed for, I don't know, 12 hours or so. So every scene was done like 10 times. They'd be like, all right, now, Jordan, who's playing Jason, walk towards Chris, the guy playing the detective, and they'd have to film that 10 times. Then it'd be the next scene where he drags April, the blonde, out of the shed, and we'd have to do that 10 times. So, we watched them do it kind of, I guess, like behind the scenes, because we're watching them film it. And we knew, it's obviously staged and all that stuff. But when we saw the final cut, at least when I saw the final cut, and I saw the scene where Jason stabs the detective to death, and he's really going at him, like really cutting this guy to bits. I was like, oh, like I laughed a little bit because I know these guys. I know both of them. I know they're like nice guys, but it was so convincing. And my girlfriend got mad at me. She's like, stop laughing. Like, it's not funny that guy just got stabbed to death. I'm like, yeah, but it's such a good job with it.
It's hilarious.
But then again, thinking about it too, you guys are going to want this video to stand out in every aspect, especially with its tie into the movie and with its theme as well. So people that are really big Friday the 13th fans are definitely going to gravitate towards this and kind of critique it in a way, just based off of how the story is presented. Any horror fan would, and that's with any other fandom as well. Anybody that's a huge Star Wars fan is going to take a look at anything that Star Wars inspired and basically run through with a fine-tooth comb. So if you guys are going to be trying different scenes like 10, 12 times in order to make sure that you get exactly what you want, sure, it's going to take a lot longer of a time to shoot this. However, you're going to make sure the video comes out the exact way you want it to, and to make sure that it comes out the way you feel like the story needs to be portrayed.
Yeah, and the guy who filmed it was a guy named Alex Hyder, and a lot of the quality, actually I'd say all the quality, is really due to him. He really was awesome. So good, so professional, knew all about like the lighting and the angle and all, how to stage stuff, how to, direct people. Okay, I need you to move this way, move that way. He was awesome, really good.
Yep.
Well, what was that? I missed that last one from whoever said. Was that Mark?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, I just said yep.
Oh,
But
well.
I will say this: if anyone's listening, especially bands, and you're looking for someone to film your video, Alex Hyder, in my opinion, and we've only shot with 2 different people, but we've always wanted to shoot with Alex. but he is so underrated. It is not even funny. This dude is incredible at what he does. Like, we are all dumb. Like, everyone in Seasons is dumb. And he made us do exactly what he wanted. And it looked amazing. Like, we didn't have to do or say anything. He was like, stand here, do this, do that. And he's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, basically with all of us, if you ever seen Talladega Nights, when it comes to videos or photo shoots, we are like 5 Ricky Bobbies. We have no idea what the fuck to do.
I don't know what to do with my hand.
I was waiting for someone to do that. Here comes Mark with the hands. Just, I don't do my hands. You know, the video worked well. And they just told us where to stand. They told me where to put my hands, and now I just don't know where to put them. Stuck right here.
I think we did very well.
The car, it worked well. The knife, it slashed pretty well. So
Handled real good.
The car drove nice. It drove nice.
But when it comes down to Killing Seasons, because I, again, did the whole entire run through of it, and I like to always give people, especially on the podcast, an overall thought of especially what I thought of it. And, of course, the whole entire premise behind it, I definitely did take a look at it through the lens of taking a look at it with Thank God It's Friday by Ice Nine Kills, just to kind of see how it compared. And my thought process was, is it as good as Thank God It's Friday? I don't really want to say that, but if I'll put it this way, if it comes under Thank God It's Friday, it is by minimal amount. Like, holy shit, you took the story from Jason and worked it into more of this demonic slasher vibe that is put off a little bit more in the later films than that understanding of the sound and style really shows through not only the music video, but also specifically in the song as well. This is a very good metalcore song with how it is constructed to make it feel like you are a part of that horror movie and that Jason is going to come and kill you. You guys definitely can go places with the dedication you put into this track, so well fucking done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And the fact, like, and that's another thing, and you brought it up, like, we don't mind if I don't think anyone would really say to us, hey, y'all's song is better than Ice Nine Kills. And we don't want people to say that, and we don't expect people to say that. The fact that we've only been a band since 2017. So, and we've gone through lineup changes, like probably 4 or 5 lineup changes already. So we're still a relatively young band, and Ice Nine Kills has been out here, destroying everything for a while now. So are we to that level yet? No. Will we be to that level if we keep on? Who knows? But the fact that people are comparing us to Ice Nine Kills and Thank God It's Friday, it's just, like I said, it's humbling. It's great.
I think really the biggest reason for that is just the dedication that you put into this song and understanding, again, how to take the story of Friday the 13th and put it into a metalcore song and really make sure that that song had the feeling like you're actually in the movie.
Yeah.
Because if it was something where you were going to write a song, I'm trying to think of just, if you're going to write a song about a movie and then you're going to come up with something that doesn't necessarily sound like you're a part of it, and it could be any genre as well, people are going to know that right away. Of course, with horror, bringing it with more of a metalcore sense, it really does help out a lot more because you're going to get those definitely more horror, raw, visceral kind of sounds in there that are perfect for a slasher or even just any kind of horror movie. But it just makes it, you just have to, there's specific things you have to do there in order to tweak the sound and make sure it really fits the vibe of the movie, which you guys absolutely did here. The dedication behind it was fantastic. So if people are going to compare you to Ice Nine Kills, it's not going to be like, it's not, you can't think of, let me rephrase that. You can't take a look at it as like, who's better? You take a look at it, it's like, they're comparing you to them because of the dedication you have behind what you're doing with the music, with how you're portraying these stories through your music and how well you're doing it.
Yep. And that, like I said, that speaks leaps and bounds to even be for them to mention us and then Ice Nine Kills, like in the same sentence, it's crazy.
Now, when it comes to the future as well, would you guys think about doing something a little bit more around that horror style as well once again? Or would it be something where you guys gonna, again, just take whatever inspiration comes to you at that moment and run with it?
I would love to do more horror-oriented things. I am all about that dark, scary horror writing. It's like they're giving you the story, and then you are the director of an orchestra behind that, and you get to make it have a sound. So I like the idea behind that.
It's kind of like being the horror John Williams in that.
To do a horror song, I definitely. I mean, I could see that being in the future, but like every time we write a song, it's kind of like a cool new blank canvas. We have a song that we plan to release. I don't know, probably March or so, and it's our first party song. We don't really have anything like that in our catalog. A song that's all about hanging out, throwing down, hanging out with your friends, getting wasted, doing shots. We don't have a song like that out there. And then we also have a song in the works it's kind of about the feelings of like isolation that I think a lot of us fell into with COVID in the past year. So it's like every single one of the theme is kind of like, it's cool. We get to mold it to whatever we want. I guess to answer your question, like, yeah, like as far as doing another horror song, I can definitely see it, but we're also going to be working on a lot of other stuff too. Stuff of like, all kinds of themes.
And from a personal opinion, I think you definitely should go that route as well, Nick, that go wherever you feel like going, where if you have inspiration to do another horror style track, absolutely go for it. You guys have shown that you guys can absolutely kill it on that front with the dedication behind the understanding of how the movie feels and like Mark said, being the orchestra behind that sound. However, you do also want to make music that you want to make all the time as well. So if you're going to want to make, just a party song that's, just because you feel like making it, go for it, because you shouldn't have to try and force a certain style on yourself or a certain a consistent theme on yourself. And then if you're going to do something that's more delving into isolation, it's absolutely fantastic because everyone's felt something like that within the past year with COVID. So you're really going to be able to hone in on those emotions, not only from a societal standpoint, but also a personal standpoint, and really let that flow through your music. And I've always been a much bigger fan of that as well, because when you put yourself into the music, and I've said this plenty of times, you're going to put yourself into there. And while you might be talking about a very specific time and a specific event, that people, they might not relate to the exact same specifics, but they'll relate to the emotion that you're trying to portray in that song. And that's where the connection really comes in. That's where people really get so embedded in those songs that when they see you play live, like they're really just belting out the lyrics alongside with you. They're jamming out with you. And you're just seeing this, either like this wildly expressive emotion come from them, but it's also true happiness at the exact same time.
I do want to tackle on real quick. I feel like a part, just kind of part of the backstory to this whole song, and kind of got to give this guy credit, because I don't feel like this would have happened opportunity-wise. The song came from the opportunity. But just to the backstory real quick, just want to give a big shout out to Mikey Ruckus. Mikey Ruckus got his break writing UFC themes. He is now the senior music producer for AEW Wrestling, and he picked up one of our songs, "Violence is a Virtue." That was featured. Alan Angels walked out to it for a little bit. Got featured on TNT or whatever, but he really got in with Nick and Mark's wife and kind of myself, and he's like, you guys should really look at trying to get stuff into movies. And he worked with Mark's wife Megan and Nick and kind of gave them a bunch of information. He was like, just start shooting this stuff out there, and it just happened. Nick shot a bunch of emails everywhere. We all were trying to do stuff, and I just happened to be lucky enough to get a yes as I reached out to Peter Anthony. But had it not been for Mikey Ruckus, I don't even know if we would have went this route.
That's incredible as well, because that's kind of the same thing with the podcast as well. I've shot out a bunch of random emails at points, all of a sudden, like, hey, there's times I get a bunch of no's, there's times I get yeses, but I would always get no's if I never even tried. So you guys might never have even had this opportunity if you haven't even tried anything like that or got that inspiration. However, also being featured with a wrestler as a walk-up song on AEW is massive, because there's a good number of bands that how I found out about them was when I was watching WWE and hearing wrestlers come out to their music. That's how I found out about Alter Bridge with Edge using Metalingus as his theme, or when Batista has come out to I Walk Alone. That's how I found out about Saliva when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was when we found out that Alan Angels was going to walk out to Violence is a Virtue. That was so exciting. Like literally, I remember I had it streamed on my TV at home. I was telling everybody like, "Shut up! Our song's about to come on." And then he came out for Violence is a Virtue. It was so like he jumped up on the thing on the ring. He's like did this to his opponent, like he's about to kill him. And I remember he wrestled. I remember he lost that. I think he lost that match. But I called Mark right after. I was like, "Oh, dude, you see it? It was so cool." It was stuff like that. It's not silly about now, but that makes all the emails, networking, everything. It really makes it all worth it. all the work we go through to make this stuff happen.
You're gonna end up going through so many different aspects where people are gonna say no, but all it takes is just that one person to say yes, and then all of a sudden things start picking up after that. You're gonna get another yes, you get another yes. It's kind of infectious in a way at times. It's kind of like COVID in a way, which is really weird to say.
Corona.
Man, that's at this point where I need to just pull out Corona, put some lime in there, just chug it. But yeah, I don't feel like getting up and going to get it.
Man, I could go for a Corona right now.
Definitely could too. With lime though, not the disease. That just doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, no. The one you drink.
Yeah. Well, because I know we're coming up to that like 4:00 time for you guys. I want to make sure you guys get on with the rest of your day and do everything else you need to do. But one last question I have for you guys before we get to the whole conclusion of this is, what else can we expect from in the future from Seasons as well? Because I know you mentioned the two songs you've been working on as well, but anything else in particular that we can be expecting? Because honestly, when live shows come back, I mean, you guys are every single time I listen to Killings, like you guys are going up higher and higher on the must see list.
Somebody take it.
Yeah,
we have a show coming up in March that hopefully everything will work out with. GFM, Artusia, couple other acts. We have 2 festivals next year if everything happens according to plan. That should be very big, very amazing. Everything's kind of up in the air right now. This is all kind of speculation in assuming things are going down the same path that they're going to go to. Things may or not get better. But we are working on a few songs, as Nick pointed out. We're also working on like 3 or 4 more that also are like in the phase that are coming together. I think all of us will.
And Mark, your vocals are kind of cutting out a little bit here and ever again now. But the one question I do have to ask is, because you said with that show, you guys are playing with GFM as well now. The question I have to ask you is, do you know if you'd be going on before or after GFM?
We're going on afterwards.
Well, I'll put it this way, guys. Best of luck, because I've seen those 3 girls play live. They're one of my favorites to have on the podcast. I've had them on 3 times before, and they fucking bring it. However,
yes,
with your guys' sound, I definitely think you guys could follow suit and just create this intense show. Because I actually did see that on Facebook with that show. I'm like, God damn, now I wish I lived in Virginia so I could go see this shit. But because it'd be awesome. But oh well, maybe next time. Or if things get better and I decide just to sneak out and just like, oh hey, I'm just gonna go on this like 13, 14 hour drive into Virginia and just see the show and then drive back to Milwaukee.
There you go.
Hey, I will say this: we do have some. This band has an extremely dedicated fan base. Give a shout out to Cindy down in Florida. So she lives in Tampa, one of our fans, and her son have actually driven to Richmond twice now to come see us. We were supposed to tour. Obviously, everybody's tours got screwed with COVID, but yeah, she's driven twice from Florida, and I think somebody's about to beat her record, because the show on the 27th, there are people coming from Springfield, Massachusetts, so just outside of Boston. So it's crazy that people drive that far to come see us when we can't drive out to see them.
Damn, I should drive out to see you guys at that show as well, just to be that guy that's like, hey, I beat you guys from Springfield. Take that.
I hold the record.
And then also potentially get my face bashed in by the mosh pit. Be your 4th confirmed ER visit, and then call it a day, because that just sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Maybe not for my bank account, but for the story, definitely.
Or you can just come with a football helmet on and start like spearing people. That way your face doesn't get all messed up.
But then
does that count as a mask?
Yeah.
It has like the mask on the front of it, like the grill. I mean,
you might have to put like an actual like piece of like the official PPE over the grill, the face mask. Then
like saran wrap over the helmet.
Then technically it would be considered a face shield, so I think you would be fine there. However,
Yeah.
if you come with a football helmet, I'm pretty sure I'd be the like guy. It's like, okay, you're definitely the target for the mosh pit. So every guy that's like over 250 pounds is just going to be trying to level me every step of the way.
We gotta make sure we fuck that guy up.
Honestly, for like the first time being in a real mosh pit since July, when it was with GFM, actually, I may have to just to get the feeling back. Once it's like, I miss this, and all of a sudden just have like this like 275-pound guy just come running up, hit me from the side, I go flying, all of a sudden fall into someone's knee, just completely cut my head open, and then go to the bathroom.
Femur.
Yeah, go to the bathroom, come back 5 minutes later. I've done this before with like a huge cut above my eye. Put a bunch of like paper towel over it, take a piece of someone's shirt, rip it off, tie it around my eye, make it look like a pirate, and just go back and do it again.
Yep.
Go back in there Rambo style.
Yep.
Exactly.
They drew first blood.
Oh God. And I guess start talking like Sylvester Stallone then, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of rough to hear me talk like Sylvester Stallone when there is a band on stage and the mosh pit is going absolutely crazy. Well, on that, guys, because I know you guys got other stuff you guys got to get going on today, as we're a little bit past that time that I know, especially with you, Nick, saying that you got some other stuff that you do, and with Josh, with you having to go to practice. Well, one last thing is, I always like to give you guys the last chance to say anything, so whatever you want to say, whatever you want to plug, go for it.
Follow us on Instagram, Seasons RVA Official. Twitter is Seasons RVA. Facebook is Seasons RVA. And TikTok is Seasons RVA. And then you can find us. We're also on YouTube. Our YouTube channel name is Seasons RVA.
If you didn't catch that, it's basically Seasons RVA.
For everything.
And if you didn't get what Mark said, it's Seasons RVA.
Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, indeed.
And
it's an honor being able to do this.
It was fantastic having you guys, and for everyone when they said, follow Seasons RVA. If you forgot about it, or if you're just lazy and you don't want to type that in, take a look at the description of the podcast, either on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iHeartRadio. You'll see a thing that says follow Seasons online, and you're going to get all the links there. I'm going to put them all there. It's just a quick tap. You just got to like them, subscribe to whatever they got, and also listen to some of their music, because I'll put the Spotify and Apple Music's links in there as well, so you can listen to it. Listen to Killing Seasons as well, and get ready when the Friday the 13th Avenged 2 Bloodlines movie comes out as well, and look for that song, watch the music video, and support these guys as well. And before I send you guys on your merry way for the rest of the day, two things. One is I want to add you guys to this little group that I have going on with the podcast, so that I have not been able to take part in any of this officially yet, due to the fact that we're in a pandemic since I started this. Yet I call it the First Rounds on Me Club. So what that means is I do want to see you guys play live at some point. I do potentially want to be that fourth confirmed ER, or fifth by that time, sixth, seventh, whatever it might be. However, if I don't actually end up in the ER at that point, because I've had so much fun with you guys in the podcast and I love what you're doing, I love the music. If I see you guys live, whether it's out by you guys or if you guys come out by me, whatever it is, First Rounds on me.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I'm not cheap though.
Second round's on Randall.
I am not cheap. I'm a classy broad.
Understandable. So no Fleischmann's for him, or no rail gym. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him some Tanqueray.
Yes. Colt 45.
Alrighty, so then on that note, because of that, I do not want to end this podcast with a goodbye, because that seems like, I'm never going to see you guys again, never going to hear from you guys again, yet I want to listen to as much of more of your music as possible. I want to see you guys play live, and again, be that like fourth or fifth confirmed ER visit because of the show. So I can't end this in all conscience with a goodbye. So I'm going to end this podcast, but I love to end these podcasts with. See you later.
See you later.
Mwah.
Well, folks, that was my interview with the guys from Seasons out of Virginia. And when it comes to the whole horror trope in metalcore, my God, you guys know how much I love Vice 9 Kills. You guys know that I like the band Kill the Blonde as well. And Seasons is right up there with them, where they know how to have that attention to detail to really bring something like this out. Could they go with something like this again in the future? Absolutely. Will they be creating songs around other things that they like as well? Absolutely. And they should. So I cannot wait to watch these guys play live when I get the chance to. If I do end up in the ER because of them, well, I won't be able to have them be a part of that First Rounds on Me Club right then and there. However, that would always have to be saved for a later date then. But if I do actually come out of that mosh pit alive, oh yeah, First Rounds on me. And for Randall there, Yeah, no rail gin for him. We're going to get him like Tanqueray or Bombay. See how that works. Ha. So on that note, guys, again, please check out Seasons. All their socials are in the description of the podcast below, along with mine as well. So please follow, like, share, subscribe, their music and our podcast all over the place. Tell your friends about everything. And on that note, that's going to be for me today, guys. Thank you for watching and listening to the Chord Progression Podcast, where the MSOTD rocks, where rock and metal thrive. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one of these episodes with a big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah!